I'm back after 3.5 years. Like the elusive Sasquatch, I'm uploading again. Sasquatch should have a YouTube channel. I bet they could figure it out, right? Anyway, um, so recently I found myself really missing or yearning for the fall. And I know it's weird because it's springtime, but spring and fall really are pretty similar, except there's nothing to do in the spring, and there's everything to do in the fall. How come there aren't like spring haunted houses? But like, in a fun, like a not a haunted house, maybe like a haunted house, but like people are kind to you. To go along with spring themes. Anyway, I've been thinking about it a lot because like I feel like the only thing the public society decides that we're supposed to do in spring is go outside and figure out stuff to do by ourselves. Whereas like in the fall they're like, here, have this like seasonal drinks and seasonal activities and seasonal like events, haunted houses and candy and all kinds of stuff that is like every weekend you could be out doing some fall event. Whereas in the spring it's more like, figure out something. I can believe in you. Even though the weather's like the same. Like, technically you could do that in the fall too. Like, it's warm enough to go outside in both seasons, but like not warm enough to be out all the time. So that way, in the fall at least, like you have an event to do. Like, you'd put up with the cold for the corn maze. Whereas in the spring, it's like, what are you gonna do? You're not putting up with the cold for anything. They should put something in the spring, at least, to look forward to in the winter. I mean, past Christmas, you just have like 3 months of nothing where people are just like kind of sad and cold, depending on where you live. So anyway, I decided to talk about the fall because the fall is more interesting than the spring. And I guess if you find this video later in the fall, here's some ideas of what to do and cool things that I like to do in the fall. I think I'll just start off with I really like watching Alvin and the Chipmunks Meet the Wolfman. And I know it's a kids movie, but I've been watching it since I was a kid. And I remember going to the video store, and every time I would go, I'd rent that movie. Even if it wasn't Halloween, but, like my parents would get annoyed if it wasn't near Halloween, but that's okay, because it's a Universal picture that's not true. Well, it might be from the company Universal. Anyway, it's got great songs, it's got a great story. It's just like a nice little story about brothers being nice to each other. Plus, it's got werewolves and singing. And it's just a cute little wholesome story about kids doing a school play. And one of them turns into a werewolf. Very quotable. And the songs get stuck in your head. The other thing that is on the other end of the spectrum is Scream Queens, which is the horror series by the guy who made Glee, Ryan Murphy. He also made American Horror Story, which I liked for a while, but watching like dramatic horror gets boring after a while. Scream Queens is really funny, but it got canceled after 2 seasons, probably because they only had enough ideas for 1 season, and then season 2 just rehashed season 1, but not as good. Season 2 was like okay, just because they took all the ideas from the other season, which was really good. So they're both like set like right around Halloween. It's like the first season is about like fall on a college campus. So there's like a murderer going about in a Halloween costume / mascot costume. And so then it's very like silly and fun, and it's kind of violent. So if you don't like violence, I don't know, but it's like not scary enough to like give you nightmares or anything. I like how that's my level. But like it is, it's like fun horror. It's not like super serious or dramatic or like hard to watch, you know? I feel like some horror movies are just like there to make you uncomfortable, but this one's more like walking through a haunted house. You know, it's just like jump scares and like fun scares, not really. And you get like afraid for the characters, but it's not like in an existential way. You don't like necessarily feel bad for the characters because it's all just like very big and dramatic and silly kind of horror, you know, which I think are the best ones. I feel like those ones are the most consumable and why people like me like Halloween and stuff because it's just to be fun. It's not to be like hurting your soul or anything, which I mean is debatable because the people are mean in it, but like you know what I mean maybe. um, Haunted houses are also fun. Making pumpkin themed things. Anything pumpkin themed, really. Hugging pumpkins, carving pumpkins, collecting pumpkins. In the fall, I have like a whole bunch of like decorative pumpkins that I just put everywhere. I need more, frankly. Um, I know that this video is just rambling. I don't have any editing software right now. But if you're watching this, you probably already know that this is how I talk anyway. So, that's that. I think that's it for now. What a great intro after such a long leave.